take them.
We're going for an Escape. 2024 Ford Escape.
Plug-in hybrid without launch control. Brake boost.
%100% power.
Not bad once you got up there.
Horsepower and torque and electric-only range.
A combined 210 horsepower and 163 pound-feet of torque from a 2.5-liter four-cylinder hybrid.
And what's the electric-only range?
Up to 60 kilometers or 37 miles.
All right, I'm gonna put it into eco mode and get rid of my torque converter and bring up my nice little garden, see if I can get some electric-only driving.
Well, this doesn't have a torque converter because it's an ECVT.
Well, I don't know what that was. That looked like a torque converter, right?
Yeah, it looks like something.
And then in your drive modes, you can also go normal, and it's a city.
And the animations are actually not laggy, which is kind of cool.
And slippery, which is water. Okay, so what is this? Is like kind of like CRV size. We've never driven an Escape before.
I don't know why it's taken us so long, but here we are. And it competes with like a Toyota RAV4 and things like that because this is a plug-in hybrid that you can plug into the wall and get up to 60 kilometers of range, just like a RAV4 Prime.
And when it rolled up into my driveway, I'm like, we had a Mach-E this week? I'm like, no. Because it looks kind of like a Mach-E.
From certain angles, it kind of does have that look, like the C-pillars and the doors and stuff.
The side angle, you know, you
Yeah.
add a little bit of black to the top Mach-E. I think wheels have a similar Mach-E wheel. And what would be the Continental recommended tire for a Ford Escape?
The Cross Contact LX25, or for the winter, the Viking Contact 7.
I actually really like the pattern of these wheels.
I do. Like it's a very classic pattern. You can't really go wrong. But they did the machined face with like the black spoke inside. It looks good.
You know what? I bet you if it was the ST version, it'd have black wheels.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, front end, very Mach-E. We got like the Mustang kind of looking DRLs and stuff.
Yeah, but it's also sort of Macan-ish, and we have what Ford calls the coast-to-coast LED light bar, which actually does look kind of cool.
And we have a cool grille pattern, really cool. But if it was Macan, they would just paint the whole front of it black.
Yes, but I mean, overall from the front end, I actually think this is pretty decent looking.
It's decent looking, but it's weird that it like kind of looks like a bunch of other Fords.
It makes sense. It's in the family.
And then back end, nice, okay taillights. Ford LED.
They're LED, which is kind of impressive because they're not just like straight up halogens.
And what's cool is the trunk is powered.
Yeah.
And the exhaust tips, the steel tip sticks out of the fancy tip on it.
You know, you have to pay extra for these chrome finishers that we have.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
You know what, it looks all right. To me, in my head, the real Ford Escape is that like 2008-ish one, I think.
The boxy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, let's take a listen to the outside.
So do you think this looks better than the competition, like better than a Tucson or a CRV or a RAV4 or I don't know what the Chevy version, maybe a Blazer Trail Sport or something?
Not particularly. Like it's not a bad looking car, but there's also nothing special about it.
Yeah, I feel like it's not even in the back of my mind. Like it just exists somewhere.
Yeah, and then the fact that the Bronco Sport exists and it's like very similar to this, it's the ruggedized version of this basically. It would be hard for me to choose this over that, even though the only reason to get this is the plug-in hybrid or the regular hybrid because the Bronco doesn't offer that.
Yeah, that yellow Bronco Sport, I would take that over so many things as long as it had the not 3-cylinder.
Yeah, that shaky little engine. But this one's actually not bad at all.
Okay, let's see. I can go in EV now because...
You have enough battery? Yes.
Press OK to enable engine.
That's pretty funny.
Did it enable? I don't think it enabled.
No.
Anyways, you can floor it all the way and it doesn't go in gas mode unless you press the OK button. I forgot to charge it overnight, so
Yes.
no charge. But this came with like 300 kilometers on the trip, and it was giving me like 2.9 liters per 100 kilometers. And then driving it around normally in just zero EV mode,
like
in like
hybrid.
efficiency. Yeah, like a hybrid car, I was getting like 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers, which is still really good. And I guess that's the main reason you want to get one of these.
Yeah, so it turns out if you don't plug it in, it's still actually half decent.
Yeah, so go to tsp.truecar.com if you're looking to get a fuel-efficient SUV.
That's right. Save some money because this thing's actually kind of expensive.
Spend some money to save some money,
That's what you should do.
or to use less liquid fuel.
Yes.
Because I guess you can get around a lot with just electricity.
Yeah, 60K, that's a lot.
And with this stop,
Ooh,
I want to talk about the thing that I hate the most about this car.
the stopping.
The brake pedal. So the Maverick Hybrid, I hated that brake pedal the most. I used the D word.
Deal breaker.
This brake pedal just is so frustrating in city driving. Like when you're on country roads and you only stop once in a while, yeah, not the worst.
It's noticeably not great, but for me, driving today here, not a deal
Because
breaker.
you're a country boy.
That's right.
There's farms everywhere near you.
Cows, donkeys.
There are no farms near me.
No.
So it was annoying, and I got more and more frustrated as I drove. And then the thing that really set me off, we got this big screen on the interior, looks cool.
Yep.
Hard buttons, none. Bummer.
Yeah.
I had my Apple CarPlay up. I had my Google Maps up. I tried to change the fan speed while listening to a podcast, the Gary Clute podcast with James Hinchcliffe.
Shout out.
Really good episode.
Shout out
You know,
both
you know
those
he almost
guys.
died?
Yeah, I do.
I didn't know that.
Bro, you don't even follow Hinch like I do.
Why? Because I listen to his podcast. And so I turn up the fan speed or turn it down, and then it starts.
Our senses to the smallest little difference that you literally think twice about on purpose. Right. It's a game-changing issue.
It's pretty brutal, actually.
The fact that a brand new car does that makes me lose all confidence in it. And with that, it's your turn to drive.
I'm just going to floor it in sport mode. How do I get to sport mode? Oh, over here in my infotainment.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
it
actually
was
quite
already
annoying.
up. Okay, if it was on home, how'd you get to sport mode?
Settings? Features.
Features.
Drive modes. Sport. That is
Yeah,
pretty
or we
bad.
have a hard button down here, which is okay.
I can't press it any harder. It's not bad at all, and like the CVT just does its thing. It's actually not that annoying in this. It's just, it's car.
It's fine. You pretty much need a CVT when you're doing a plug-in hybrid, right?
Yeah. Okay, so back to the screen. I know you complained about it a lot. While I do agree with
I think
everything.
I complained about it twice or once.
While I do agree with what you said about it, what I really like about the screen is actually it looks impressive and it is high quality, it's high resolution, which I didn't expect from a car like this, and it's much larger than I expected.
I'm shocked that the animations are smooth considering it literally can like break down when you're using the fan speed.
That's what I'm saying. So it is overall impressive looking. Outside of that, 100% you are right on everything. We got climate controls, everything that stays on the bottom, but they are all integrated into the infotainment, which does suck.
Now I'll give this a reverse zonk though, which means a good thing.
Oh,
The heated seat gets super hot and I love that.
okay. Just like my Fiesta ST.
R.I.P.
Yes. Not because I crashed it, because I sold it for a lot of money.
But then what does Europe have to say about putting all your climate and stuff in the infotainment?
Thankfully, regulations are starting to change, and then I think in 2026 they are going to be penalizing companies that have everything integrated into the infotainment and don't have normal hard buttons for things like, I think, climate and like turn signals, like things that you should have at your fingertips at all times, which Tesla and other companies are removing, and Ford is
Well,
also.
technically this is at your fingertips. You just have to really take your
No,
eyes
like a
off the road
physical
to
actual
use it.
button, like a physical button.
Yeah.
Not an infotainment button.
I'm not a fan of stuff buried in infotainments across any brand.
So that is probably the first good thing that's come out of European regulations, because they're ruining every car by noise regulations.
You know what? I think
noise regulations are terrible. Every car should be loud. Especially if they're V8s, and then on top of that, the design stuff, and then on top of that, the emission stuff, which is also making them quieter.
European, okay,
Terrible.
did the European have a cooler 80s 911 turbo bumper than we did?
Yes.
So not the worst for
I said they
regulations?
are ruining.
And then look, you get better environmental stuff so little kids aren't breathing in diesel all the time in front of schools. Like, they got some good stuff going.
Some, yes, but
Yes.
not all.
But we do have some hard buttons for your camera, parking assist, and your volume knob. And this has the B&O sound system, which is actually pretty good for this.
Okay, so driving this thing, it definitely has enough power. The Florida goes, that eCVT just downshifts exactly when you want it, and we don't have any paddles or anything like that. We do have this PRNDL circular shifter for shifting, and it's okay just like GT500.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
cool when
this-
you park, or not park, when you come to a stop and like take off your seatbelt and open the door, it goes right to P.
And then the steering is actually like totally fine.
Nothing
Nothing
weird.
Yeah, it's like normal for a sort of EV.
And really good adaptive cruise lane centering. Hey, I heard the traction clicking while you were doing that. Can you turn traction off for me?
No idea how, doubt you can. So this is also front-wheel drive. They don't offer this in all-wheel drive for the plug-in hybrid. If you want all-wheel drive or part-time all-wheel drive, you have to get a different trim, so you can't get that. I think the hybrid is all-wheel drive, or at least partly.
I got a question for you.
What's that?
How you turn on your head-up display?
Not a clue.
We tried. We couldn't figure it out. Turns out it was one down. Oh no, it's one of these panels. Yuck!
And then also the suspension is really comfortable. I have no complaints about that. It's not like bouncy because the battery's not too big. It's perfect for daily driving. It's not too stiff. I imagine the ST line might be too stiff.
I have heard that it is a little too firm.
Yeah, because when we drove the Explorer ST, I found that too firm, but that was like a real ST, and now I'm gonna floor this non-ST into a cliche corner and see how this does. Front wheel drive is actually ripping pretty hard right now, not gonna lie. This is way better than I expected through here.
Yeah.
Tons of body roll, but I'm not getting like that much understeer.
Like, I wouldn't even want firmer suspension for better handling. Like,
That's pretty impressive through here.
I am very happy with this.
And the bump, oh dude, that was fine. Everything about this is, driving wise, it's great. Other than that brake pedal in the city.
Yeah, you always gotta hit the brakes and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and these seats, very, very comfortable, like very comfortable, no complaints at all.
You got forward and back lumbar. My only complaint is it doesn't go up and down, which it doesn't hit the perfect spot for my size.
Yeah, so definitely try and sit in one of these in a showroom.
But what's nice is you do have seat presets on the driver's side.
Ah, that is nice.
It is nice. Imagine not having seat presets when you're like a foot height different than your wife.
Yeah, and you're spending this kind of coin. Speaking of coins, sitting in the back, there's places to put your coins, and there is a ton of room for me at 6'1.5".
The seats slide forward and back, and we got USB-C down here. And the seats angle back too, and you can fold them not fully flat for stuff, which is nice over a car, I guess, because I got to go pick something up today after filming, and if I had a car today, it would not fit.
Yeah, and we do have a decently sized trunk in this as well.
Yeah, so shout out not being a Ford Fusion, RAP.
Yeah, they had a hybrid of that one.
So you're driving exclusively in sport mode, right?
Today, yes.
So EV now and EV later is blanked out. If I go to normal, let's go to EV now.
Engine enabled for system performance.
Slow her down, slow her down.
Well, it's not why, we don't have enough charge.
Slow her down.
My foot's literally like here.
Hit the brakes, you have 3 kilometers on your thing.
Bro, I don't have enough.
You do. You're an electric. See, you do have enough.
Press OK to enable engine. Whoa! Holy turbo. There's no turbo in here.
The thing that kind of sucks is that there's no button to charge your engine in case you forget.
Exactly.
But if you're ripping around in sport mode, that tends to charge your battery more than anything else, because when you're in sport mode, your engine is on the whole time.
Yeah, because then you're in auto EV because you're forced into it. But also the way that they laid this out with auto EV, EV now, EV later is really, really good, because Toyota does so confusing things with HEV, HEV later, HEV maybe sometime now with a Christmas tree, like no idea what's going on.
But theirs is hard button in all their cars, which is better. And then here you got cool stuff. If you move this thing up and down, you have like an EV coach, so you can see when you're charging all your stuff, and when you come to a stop, it'll rate your score, and you can have like your most recent hundreds, 80s, 99%. But I think they should bring back the butterflies from that one Ford Focus EV. That was the best.
And then there is one cool gauge cluster thing in here where it tells you like how you're driving in terms of electricity, and then what your equivalent EV range would be at the way that you're driving, which is cool, and I've never seen that in any other electric-ish car.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job of laying all that out. And then as for materials,
I love this. This like brushed plastic.
Yeah, brushed plastic.
It looks really good. There's no gloss black, nothing.
Is this soft or hard? Place your bets.
I'm gonna guess that this is hard. No, it's actually soft.
Wow. I know, little surprises here and there.
Like even up here, this brushed plastic. It's a really good look.
Yeah, I mean, like it's economy car-ish, but it's not the worst.
No, this is definitely a step above economy car, I'd say.
Yeah, but like it's not as nice
materials.
It's not as nice as CX-5 would be material.
No, exactly.
But like, it is almost equivalently priced.
But there is no plug-in hybrid, so you can't compare.
Yeah, exactly.
What about these cup holders, Yuri?
Cup holders fit great.
Yeah.
Shocked. Visors, I had the sun in my eyes, but I did not test them. 3, 2, 1.
Full pass.
Well,
they barely even move.
But I guess it's all it needs, right?
That's it. That is a pass.
And the last thing I'll mention is the moonroof is very nice to have.
It is large.
Yeah, I think it's an option. And I think that's pretty much everything should we get to the price?
Absolutely.
Hit me with it.
It is $55,649.
That is a lot.
That is a lot.
I like, if this was like 36, 37, man.
Yeah, but
that
not a
would
chance.
Yeah, not in today's age. I guess like things move fast. I bet you if this was a 2017, it would be like 36 or 37.
Yeah, you're probably right. But this competes with like a RAV4 Prime, which, you know, is priced around that price as well.
But you're going to have to wait a year or something even longer to get one of those, or at least in my head you have to, because I don't know if COVID times have caught up.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's still a very high-end demand vehicle, and then this one probably isn't as much, so you're probably also going to get a better deal on it if you go through tsp.truecar.com versus the MSRP of a RAV4 Prime.
Oh, and I forgot one more thing.
What's that?
I don't like these extra rubber floor mats. My heels are too slippery with my shoes on them. So I would recommend a set of Tux Mat. Even though we're not sponsored by them right now, I would still way rather have a set of Tux Mat in here.
Tux Mats are great.
All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And the next car will be more exciting, I promise. but
Hey, we're
out
going to
here-
do normal cars for the normal people.
We're out here doing stuff that's not just 500 plus horsepower drag race cars.
That's right.
We're doing boring cars.
Yes, like this one. Drag race.
Falling asleep.
Yeah, me too.